fate of the universe on the line. I want Iguodala.
Kevin Durant. You know who I am.
Hurry, way downtown. Bang! Up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. Is this the dagger?
Hawks and Bucks play games in the desert. Ranveer dazzles with colorful shirts and a skirt. Draymond puts Poole to sleep. All these memories we can't but help keep. On the Hashtag Ball is Playing podcast, your favorite NBA podcast in an Indian accent. We are back at it again with yet another episode, and this is your first time listening. My name is Ashwin, and let me urge you all to like, share, and follow the podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts at. In the association this week, TMZ showed us how a red herring strategy works in the front office of an NBA team. Ranveer Singh made Indian fans see all shades of yellow, and Victor Wembanyama opened up his bank accounts to all possibilities of green. Speaking of colors, I've got with me, as always, someone whose favorite color is monochrome, someone whose favorite meat is red, and someone whose mood ring is hard-coded to blue. My co-host is there.
What's up? Very good intro. After a long time. It's a good one.
So the same thing with Pete also. But I mean, he was there, so yeah.
Yeah, I had to be like, oh wow, this is like, ooh.
Vineet, you're obviously wearing blue. But what is your relationship with color?
I think I've had a love and hate relationship with color. I've always optimized for less color and more like consistency. So like black is my go-to. But in the last 3-4 years, I've been adding more and more color to my wardrobe. And I right now have a lot of different colors, but unfortunately, it all gets hidden on my sweatshirt, so which is black. So eventually, I end up.
So under there is a coat.
Under the sweatshirt, it's always a different color, and I always tell people like, yeah, I do wear my sweatshirt a lot, but inside it there are different colors.
Isn't that like a Silicon Valley thing to be dressed for the occasion?
It's the opposite. I mean, in the Valley, it's mostly like casual. I think what it's called, formal casual or casual something.
Business casual?
No, not business casual. Like more casual than business casual.
Oh.
So like, it's okay if you like show up in like a jeans and a t-shirt. And if you're like really smart and really rich, you can also show up in like flip-flops. That all depends on how much money you have, you know.
The more money you have, the less you have to show it.
The less you have to show, yeah. So that's my strategy, right? Like when people see me, they're like, oh, this guy must have a lot of money. But it's not true. I fool people into it.
Okay. I mean, speaking of fooling people, I guess, we had started off the week, I think so, with the whole Draymond Greene incident. Suddenly people like, oh my God, TMZ, how do they get this footage? People are defending Draymond Greene for, if he said something, then you can beat him up. And then Warriors came out saying, who leaked this video? How dare this video get leaked? How dare we be held accountable for the actions? And what is going on here? What did you make of it? I mean, we saw it at probably the same time only because it was released late at night, around 10 o'clock India time, somewhere there. What was your first reaction, Vineet?
I think first reactions was like, oh shit, like there goes like the Warriors team chemistry, you know. And it's kind of sad because, you know, that's the one team that you really like how they operate and how they play, and you know, it's kind of like Spursy and you like it. So that was the first thing that hit me. Shit, like the Warriors chemistry is screwed, at least for now. And also I just thought like, I don't know, I mean, I felt like it was too much of aggression from Greene. Even if maybe Jordan Poole said something that really pissed him off, but still like.
I mean, the way he smacked him was like, it looked really dangerous because then he held him so that he wouldn't fall off or something. Like that's how it looked to me at least. Like he hit him and then made sure that, let me let you not get a concussion as well to whatever else you're going to get after this.
Yeah. He went in like full. It was a full punch.
Yeah, exactly. He went up right and what did he say? Bang! Yeah, I mean, without assigning blame, I think because you see Draymond is probably the enforcer on that team, right? Like even though he claims to be a leader, he's also an enforcer on that team. Like wherever trouble brews. He's the one who's going around like, separating people, and he's supposed to be the guy who protects his teammates from other people. So that sort of seemed a little bit weird that he would get this done, especially to his teammate, and not even a teammate who's going off or something. Like the thing that he told Durant sort of made sense, because Durant, that entire focus was on Durant's off-season move, and he might have said something. Obviously, he's not going to hit Durant like that. But it felt like he was just taking advantage. What is that called? Pulling rank. Like he can hit him and nobody else is going to do it. Because even the people who saw him, nobody really, sort of tried to separate them or anything. They were like, nobody did that sort of protect Jordan Poole sort of.
I think people didn't realize it till a little bit like late that he punched him. I think everybody thought he just kind of pushed him. So they didn't like react. Because what we see is the video in slow motion, right? So we can see it clearly, but for people standing there, it just seems like Jordan Poole pushed him and then Draymond pushed him.
Mm-hmm.
So I think everyone's like, oh, why are they pushing each other, So they didn't realize that a punch was thrown. Because if you actually watch it in like kind of normal speed, you can't really see the punch if you're like around. You just feel like they both were pushing each other.
Yeah, because I don't know, like sort of like a timeout in that scrimmage, he walked over up to him and did. I don't know. I don't think anybody thought that he would punch him.
Exactly.
Correct.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a little weird, right? Like then Draymond Green takes the classical mental health route that hurt people. I was hurt. That's why I went and punched him in the face. He said that in the press conference that he did. In the press conference that he did, later he said that, obviously he said the classical, I should not have punched him. I'm embarrassed that, I had to apologize to Jordan Poole, his family, all of that. It's not a good place for him to be.
I just don't trust anything Draymond Green says. I just think like he's like he'll just say what needs to be said to get what he wants.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, he's a lot about like, this is a business, everything is a business and everything is okay in the business, he's got that attitude where if you have that kind of attitude towards life, and how you present yourself, like you'll always find an excuse on like the business side of things, like, that's what I feel about him. In terms of
calling him Saul Goodman?
Yeah, I would say that. And I wouldn't be surprised if LeBron has something to do with this. So I'm thinking like LeBron's like the chess master. So he has been like, he knows that there is only one weak link in the Warriors dynasty, and that is Draymond Green. Right?
Okay.
Like Clay is not messing with LeBron, and neither is Steph.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, okay, cool, you're cool, I'm cool. Let's just keep our distance.
Yeah.
But he kind of like latched onto Draymond, got Draymond under his contract, became buddies with him. Because the only thing that is stopping LeBron's dynasty at this point is Steph's dynasty, right?
Correct.
And so,
some would say it's over. Like LeBron's best chances of winning are behind it. It's not.
Yeah, but still, he can still pull off one, right?
Doubtful whether he can pull off one. But if Steph wins one, then Steph 5, LeBron 4, LeBron's never going to catch him after that.
Exactly. So that's what I think. I feel like, he became like super chummies with Draymond, and like he's been like kind of like a little bit putting some words into his mind. And it's interesting how like it's so easy to screw with people's minds by just like saying something and like people
confirming what they already think.
Yeah, not only confirming what they already think, but like also like confirming what they already think in a way, but also like in a negative sense, because you can confirm what someone is thinking, but like push it in a positive spin and say like, okay, this is maybe a better option, and like maybe this is good for the team. But you
these people don't respect you. They think that you are only winning because of Steph and Clay, you are not nothing. Last finals also, you didn't really do anything. People are saying.
All
you're just is a Rodman with a big mouth.
It's like Narada, I love Narada. He's my favorite character of all time.
Call back.
What?
We said this. You are a huge fan of Narada, like I think season 5 or something.
Oh, really? Oh, okay,
One of
okay.
the
Yeah,
finest.
huge fan of Narada. Just like his ability to just like create so much trouble, and just like stay away from everything. It's just freaking amazing. It's such a great character because there are people like that in the world
Yeah.
whose only job, they just want to see the world burn. Like they don't want to do anything. They don't want to
They
get
don't want
into
to burn
anything.
with it also. Yeah.
They don't want to do. They have no like they are not like they don't want to get anything. They just want to see like
Chaos.
chaos. They just want to see chaos, and they will do whatever is required to create that chaos. And they just will like then take a step back and enjoy the chaos in a way. And there are people, as I know of people like this
Oh,
who are
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah. And so
Absolutely.
I feel like Narada is such a great character because of that.
So you're calling LeBron the Narada in this?
I'm calling LeBron. And I feel like LeBron is kind of like the Narada. I think like he has his hands in that Suns thing also, for sure. Like he's got his hands in a lot of things, a lot of pots. And I don't see why not, because he's always been this kind of like, think about the stuff he has done, right? Like about he handles his own business. He doesn't have his own, all of that was not there before. Like even Kobe had his own manager. All those guys had, I mean, except for Dirk. Dirk would just walk in and sign whatever paper was given to him. You know this, right? Dirk never had a manager ever.
No, I did not know that.
He never had a manager. He would just go in and sit with what's his name?
Mark Cuban.
Mark Cuban, and Mark will say, "We'll pay you this much," and he'll say, "Okay." And that's it.
That's it.
Anyway, so the things that LeBron has done shows that he has extremely good business IQ, and he understands how to navigate the like egos. At a certain point in business, it's less about skills; it's about like navigating through the egos of people, or through the like saying what you have to say to get what you want to get, right? And I think he's very good at that. Because he's
Bronny James, like as we talk, Bronny James has signed a deal with Nike.
Yeah, Nike, yeah.
Is not even left high school yet. So, I mean, that's a great deal for I'm sure he doesn't need the money, but that's a good deal for him to be seen as someone who, even if he's not great basketball wise, he can be great jersey sales wise, and like some team will definitely sort of pick him up on that basis, because I think I read some report that he was listed at number 50 or 55 as the top high school prospect of that
Really?
year.
That low?
Yeah, that's low. I'm not sure. I think 40 to 55, that's the number that is coming in my head. Not very high, not like top 10, top 5 or anything of that sort. Right?
That's kind of sad.
So this is a mark. I would think that this is sort of make sure that some team will definitely pick him up, because they'll be like, we can use the LeBron James effect. We can use the extra sales that come in. We can use the crowds that he fills in. And like, I think you've talked about this before, right? Like if a normal sort of average player also gets a lot of touches, they can get bigger numbers. Once you get bigger numbers, then, you can have that Tobias Harris sort of contract.
Like, you don't even hear about Tobias Harris anymore, he just quietly is like collecting checks, and still people are, Tobias Harris, yeah, that's a good
Tobias
player.
Harris, very, very two-way player. Like,
Two-way
he plays
player,
that side and this side. What? The only thing interesting, like, which I sort of want to believe, is that the Warriors themselves leaked the video, and I'll tell you why. Because in our college, right, like in our second year or something, we were celebrating our 50th year of the college, right? And like one of the best colleges in Kerala, definitely by that time. So 50th year of college, there's a lot of functions and this and that and all that. And my college was a college which had only one political union. It's not a student union. The Communist Party's student wing, which is the SFI, was the only political group in our college. So all the elections, they only won everything, and they had band ragging. So everyone was pretty happy with it. And, there was not much of a problem, like, because 90% of the people were extremely unaffiliated to anything politically.
Politically.
So that 50th year, a few colleges, the few sort of unions started to be like, okay, we also want to be here. We can't just always be looking in one direction. We have to look at multiple directions, blah, blah, blah. And the SFI, obviously, they realized that this could, create some sort of unrest in the thing. So they need to arrest it, right? They need to calm it down, like make sure that things are in control.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to lose control, right? So there was this we had an iconic tree in our right next to our big ground where we used to play cricket and football and all that. So on that tree, they had put a big, like 50 foot by 20 foot sort of a flex, which announced the college festival that was happening because of the 50th year celebration. And it was the pride of the college, and everyone was like, oh my God, 50 years, blah, 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 blah. So one day at night, we got this, some guy came to the college and he's like, oh my God, they burned down the flex. So we were like, what the hell, who will burn down the flex in the middle of this thing? So we go there and we found out that somebody has burned down the flex. The SFI goes and rounds up all these other political parties people, beats the hell out of them, kicks them out of beats them. Because like that's how they deal with the situation there. Beats them up, puts them in some room in the hostel, and they like threaten them. This police comes, it's a police case and all is filed, and nobody knows who beat them because it was in the night, right? And after that, for another
they didn't know the SFI guys beat them.
They knew SFI guys beat them. They didn't know who in the SFI beat them.
Okay.
Right. So you can say that these people beat us, but nobody has any proof. Nobody can say this person beat me or this person beat me. Like it was done this is not their first rodeo. They've done this multiple times. They know how
to do it.
So they get all this thing done, right? And then for the next 2 years, no other political party says that we want to be here. The SFI continues its thing for 2 more years, right? Somewhere in those like last 2 years, we slowly find out that the SFI only burnt that flex. Their people only burnt that flex. And then they only went and found those people. They knew exactly where to go. They found those people. They beat them up and made sure that this thing was not there. So that was my first introduction to, like this kind of thinking. Like, let me sort of, that sort of thinking. Like not exactly Narad Muni thing, but a little more devious. Like
this is more deviant, No, this is what is needed in those like when you come into like a power play, right?
Correct.
Where it's like egos and like there's not a clear cut of like who's better, who's not better. It's all of these like that's why I don't trust Steve Kerr. I feel like Steve Kerr is really good at that. Like he's like for somebody who wasn't that talented, for him to be so successful, and get the opportunities that he got at every stage. Like he became the GM of the Suns, because he helped Robert Sarver buy the Suns, right? And so he basically bought. Robert Sarver was looking to buy like a franchise, some team, and Steve Kerr was a part of the Arizona school.
The Arizona State University.
Yeah, so he was associated there.
He studied there,
and so like that's how Steve Kerr became a GM, because he helped Robert Sarver buy the Suns. Like he went, like he got the deal done, kind of thing.
Damn, Steve.
So Steve's not a like.
Yeah, and one of Steve's first comments, like after this entire incident, after saying that I don't know who put up the camera, but we're gonna find out who put the camera. Second thing was that when Michael Jordan hit me in the face, our relationship just increased. Like, man, what does that have to do with this? So are you saying that for a relationship, you just go around beating everybody?
So I just don't trust Steve.
No, Steve Kerr is a little bit
sus. He's a little sus.
He's a
little sus. And I feel like he would not have like said it like like in Game of Thrones, like they don't really say what's going to happen, but they kind of like imply. If somebody dies, who knows? It could be a blessing. Something like that.
What if the video leaked somehow? They're like, oh, that's a great.
Yeah, that would be very bad for Draymond. Yeah, we should not leak it, but if
if it
was leaked,
I'll be very fine.
That would be very.
He would be handicapped in the contract negotiation.
Contract,
so it would be very bad.
But that would be very bad. That would be very. But. Oh man. I love rich people problems. It's like really funny.
Like good luck to the Warriors moving forward. I'm sure they'll do something. It should
be fine.
I'm trying to think that how can they know what angle the footage was taken from, right? So unless all the cameras there were switched off and this guy really knew that something was going to happen, in which case he deserves a Pulitzer Prize separately. But they know exactly where the footage was shot from. So is it that much of a stretch to figure out like who are the main suspects who could have taken the video? That's what I'm trying to think.
But I don't know like who was in, like I don't know like how these
like it's a close
practices are.
practice, so it's a close media for media. It's close for media though. So I'm sure the personnel, like you're the person who brings your towels or brings your water, all those people must have been there.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like I said, I think they called Jordan Poole and said, "Hey, man, you know, it's between you and Draymond. And Draymond is a hothead, you know this. Like he can do crazy things. And if he does anything crazy, then like we would have to let him go." Yeah.
But we will keep you. We don't want you to do anything.
Yeah, you don't do anything, but like, you know, if he gets angry and he does something crazy, I mean, like we definitely will let him go. So, you know,
do with this information what
you want to do. Oh God.
Something like that only, as that probably happened. But anyway, we'll move on from this Warrior saga. We approaching the season's coming up very close. Pre-season games, one in Abu Dhabi, 2 games, Bucks versus the Atlanta Hawks, and Nation of India together started commenting cringe on Ranveer Singh's videos and all that. And I wanted to say something. I wanted to prepare a statement, but then I was like, I don't want to like prepare a statement. I think it is absolutely ridiculous, the things that people are saying. And it's not because Ranveer was technically on our pod. I'm not supporting him because of that or any other thing. But people don't understand the point of having an ambassador, right? Right. You take the best Indian player. I don't care if you say it's Vishesh Brigwanshi or Amjot Singh, whoever it is who's gotten exposure outside and is great. And if you make them the ambassador, what are they going to bring? What are they going to go and talk to Shaq, which Shaq already doesn't know? He's like, Shaq, you're a great player. Yes, I know. Like there's nothing. They don't have a following. They don't have 100,000 followers. They don't have anything that the other players have not seen.
Yeah.
He'll say, I can hit a 3-pointer. Trey's like, I can hit 3-pointer from your house to here. I can hit 3-pointer. He'll tell Shaq, like, I don't give a shit. I've got 30 million followers. Now, when Ranveer Singh goes and talks to these people, that is someone that they have not seen. Like, that is something that they have no idea about, the acting part of it, the huge amount of following that he has, 41 million followers. Shaq doesn't have 40 million followers. Giannis does not have 40 million followers. Trey Young, all of them combined have 45 million followers. So the opportunity that exists for someone like that, who also is an avid basketball fan, like he was a great basketball fan. It's not like he's remembered some people's names from a book and he's like, oh, Ahmad Rashad. Okay, Ahmad Rashad. Oh, Ahmad Rashad, very nice to meet you. No, it's not like that. He's an actual fan of the NBA.
Fan, yeah.
Privileged enough to have watched NBA games early morning from when he was a kid. He doesn't play, but like I said,
but not like professional, yeah.
Right. Like people said, Tiger Shroff. Tiger Shroff is not that popular even in India. Let's not confuse fame and fame. Like this is something that we discussed also, right? And I think back then, we were also a little bit surprised that Ranveer Singh was named the ambassador. And then I think when we've talked to Jonathan and all those people, they've talked about how the idea is not whether Ranveer Singh is the ambassador or whether Ashwin Gopinath is the ambassador or Vineet is the ambassador or Vishesh Brigwanshi or Pranav Prince or anyone is the ambassador. That is not going to change a Tanish watching at the NBA, Bhavjot watching the NBA. Whether they are there or they're not, Bhavjot, Tanish, Krish, all those people are definitely going to watch the NBA regardless. The point of getting a Ranveer Singh is to get new fans to the NBA. People who have never seen the sport, people who don't play that much, people who have seen basketball but don't really know that an NBA, the league exists called the NBA. Saath Samundar Par on the other side. There are big stars are there who are very tall and very good and can dunk and can jump and fly and do this, that, all this.
Yeah.
That is the whole point of an ambassador, right? The people who are already fans, we really don't care who the ambassador is. But for some reason, every post that he posts, those are fun things, right? We know that Giannis is fun. But when we see Giannis doing the Kaliberi and all that, that I don't know if it's the inferiority complex or whatever it is. People start going and commenting cringe and oh my god, remove him from the ambassador. I saw overtime issues comments saying we don't need him as ambassador. Man, like come on, like they need to see a world which they've not seen before, that they can be like, oh wow, this is really interesting, and this guy has more followers than me. Maybe this can be sort of a business opportunity, something that you have to bring to the table. But you can't be like, I'm a great fan, make me an ambassador. What is your value proposition? That you love basketball? Great. But how does that help in anything? Like you're going to love basketball regardless, right? So that is what I wanted to say. That
Good.
But again, on the other hand, I'm sure that this is the approach that they're going with, that they're trying to get new followers to the NBA. So the criticism can only be valid if he fails in that attempt. If all he's doing is going on NBA's dimes to all these players, getting his follower count up, promoting his songs, promoting his movies, all that, then it sucks. Then that is not good. But so basically, whoever is determining whether it's possible or not, if new people are coming in or not, if they figure out that even with this, it's not happening, then it's a bad move. Then all you're doing is sort of just letting him promote his stuff using the NBA as a vehicle, which I'm not cool with. Because that is a terrible thing to do. Just leveraging and not giving anything back to the NBA brand.
Yeah.
And with that, I will end it.
Yeah, I mean, I have always been like, I mean, even if you go to our previous things, I always said like it's a good move to have Ranveer. And interestingly, like Isabel is a big fan of Ranveer. Huge fan.
See? Already. It's working.
Yeah, and so she was the one who sent me like, oh, did you know Ranveer is in Abu Dhabi? I was like, oh, I don't know. Or wherever it was. Abu Dhabi, right? Yeah.
Abu Dhabi. He's also what is it called? Not a sponsor, but he's also an ambassador for Visit Abu Dhabi.
Visit Abu Dhabi, yeah. So, you're right. I mean, I think he is a great ambassador and he's doing cool things. He's creating nice content. Like, yes, the thing that he talked to Giannis, like in that All-Star game was a little cringe. You know, that was too much because I think like Giannis was like, who is this guy? What is he saying? I can't hear half of what he's saying because of his accent. I can't understand shit. So there was a part of it which felt a little cringe. And I think that is just who Ranveer is. You know, he's over the top. He's full of energy, you know, all of that stuff. So till he's on brand and it seems like that is his brand of like,
I think that's a great point about when he tried to talk from his heart and tell him that you're great. And Giannis was like, I don't know who this is. But when he started dancing, then Giannis is like, okay, now I understand the vibe. I don't need him to tell me that I'm good in basketball. Like I know that.
Yeah. But so I think, so the stuff that he's doing with like the dance with Shaq, the dance with Trey, and like just I think it's all like really cool. For the players, you know, they also like, oh, this is cool, you know, like I can dance and I can like have a little fun with this guy, and I think it's good for the Indian audience because they like Bollywood dancing, and they're like, oh, who's this like big ass dude who's like dancing with him?
Exactly.
Yeah. So overall, I think like I was always happy about Ranveer being the ambassador. Like he's a big enough. I just didn't know like whether it was Tiger Shroff or Ranveer because I didn't know how famous Tiger Shroff was.
Not that famous.
And I didn't know how famous Ranveer was also at that
But
time.
also you mentioned last time that Ranveer is also married to Deepika, so plus bonus.
So that's a huge bonus, yeah, absolutely. So overall, I think what he's doing is better than what the NBA has done before, which is like send random people to like All-Star games. I remember they sent that some guy, I don't know who, but like some Hindi guy, and who had who didn't know anything about basketball, and who was just
sent Shreyas Iyer. No, they sent Shreyas Iyer.
They sent Shreyas Iyer also, but Shreyas Iyer I think has like a little bit of basketball knowledge. Like it seems like from his Instagram profile, but still like no one knows Shreyas Iyer. You know, yeah. So it's like, so I think that whoever got this deal with Ranveer, like huge props to them for like closing deserves a raise, closing it and like making sure like things are going good in that sense, and like he's happy with his involvement with the brand. Obviously we have also Ranvijay and that whole other group of people who
the Ranvijay gang. And of course, our very good friend Rohan.
Yeah, so who are also like sort of, I would say like not Ranveer status celebrity, but slightly lower, who are also like promoting the game of basketball, which I think is okay, is good. Yeah, so overall I think NBA India is doing a good job, but I still feel like sometimes their social media stuff can be better. And I don't know why they have such bad engagement on their pages. Like
that is like for someone with 700,000 followers, like that is NBA India's count is 700,000. Their posts don't get that many engagements.
Yeah, it's really bad, their engagement. I don't even think that like their posts are that bad. Like I just don't understand why like people go and hate. Like I don't understand that. Like
anything they post is just usually hate. But
yeah, they just like this is what is this?
Unfollowing you. What is this cringe content?
Yeah.
Bro,
and
go
I remember
somewhere
like,
else and watch the content.
Yeah, I remember like even when I was posting like those reels, right? I think someone like commented like, I forgot what it was, but some like useless content, like comment. I was like, man, if you don't want to see it, don't see it.
Get the fuck out of here.
Why are you seeing it, then commenting on it, and then telling me what you're going to do if I don't change it? It's like, no one is forcing you to watch this content, you know.
I mean, I see. The thing is, I agree with this thing that if everyone is saying good things about you, then you're probably not like growing enough. You're only amongst your like friends and well-wishers and families and all that. So whenever I see hate comment on our thing, which is not much, but whenever I see it, I'm always like, okay, it's growing a little bit, which means that some assholes will be there, which is fine for me. Like I am very, very okay with that. The happiest I was when somebody I think saw the entire podcast and was like, what a waste of time. I was like, okay, all right, this is good. This means that.
Oh, really?
On YouTube, yeah.
Oh, wow! But how do you know he watched the whole thing?
I'm assuming that's why he said it's a waste of time. It's not necessary that everyone understands what an ambassador's role is and how it.
Yeah.
Like ambassador's role is pretty clear, but what are you trying to get? Are you trying to entertain the fans who are already there? Regardless of who the ambassador is, people like me will wake up at 4 o'clock, watch the games. We don't care who's promoting the game. There are some games at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, but do you wake up at 4 o'clock?
Yeah, of course I wake up at 4 o'clock. Some of those really interesting games.
Okay. Just kidding. Yeah.
But the NBA's biggest problem is to try to find those people who are not fans, right? And for that, you have to have a different approach. You can't have the same approach for fans versus non-fans. So for that, this has to be the case. So in that case, I'm not saying that go and be like, oh my God, Ranveer, what a great person. Oh, wow. And it's so much easier to hate collectively on one thing. But, you know, like I always feel that Balls Bay followers sort of understand a little bit more about what is happening instead of just the shallow whatever is given, right? I don't know why I'm giving our people so much credit, but I like to think that we are also somewhere, Robert Sava gets excluded. We are like, okay, LeBron probably did it. Like a little bit of masala this way, that way. So if you think about it, there's no need to go and hate on that thing, right? Like, first of all, NBA is not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you don't like it, let it be. Like, just because you go and hate on the comment, like Ranveer is not going to say, "Oh, I can't do this anymore," or NBA is like, "Oh, wow, this comment has opened our eyes to to this whole thing." Like, that's not going to happen. Like, yeah.
See, and see, that's the thing. No, like, we did something amazing during that NBA India games when Larry Bird was in India. They showed Larry Bird's face on the thing for 5 seconds, and then they moved on to Priyanka Chopra's face. And the entire crowd together, all the 4,000, 5,000 people together started booing Priyanka Chopra because that crowd was not non-fans. That was all fans who had come to watch the game. And as fans, we don't want to see Priyanka Chopra over Larry Bird. So when Priyanka Chopra's face, I have told you this multiple times, that Priyanka Chopra's face came on because
I don't remember that they booed it. I just remember that like everybody clapped or like they all gave him a standing ovation.
How that happened is they showed Larry Bird's face for like 2-3 seconds, and we were all like, "Oh my God, Larry Bird, amazing! Oh my God, Larry Bird, like Larry Bird."
Okay.
And then immediately they moved on to Priyanka Chopra. So Priyanka Chopra stood up and she started doing this and all. Oh my God, I thought that I wanted to boo, but I was like, I'm in the media section. I should not boo like so explicitly. everybody started booing from the top, from the rafters, from all the way down. People started booing her, and like 2-3 seconds of booing was all it took. They immediately panned back to Larry, and we all started chanting together, MVP, MVP. And he was forced to like, okay, I guess I have to do this. He forced to stood up, do this thing. Thank you very much, blah, blah, blah. And then he sat down because like, nice. He's a very reclusive person. Like he doesn't like all this nonsense.
He doesn't like,
but we were like, you're in India, you have to get a taste of this thing.
Yeah.
That is perfect, right? Because I don't care if she's an ambassador or whatever she studied in Indianapolis, however you say it.
Yeah. Oh, is that true?
Yeah, she did her high school in that place. So that's why she has whatever accent that she has. Anyway, right? Like so, there in an NBA stadium where everyone is there as an NBA fan, don't show me your Bollywood, don't show me this thing. Like respect the NBA legends first. But now we are trying to spread the game over to a lot of people in India, trying to get them to this thing. This is probably the best person that could have done it. Like I really don't know. Like unless Shah Rukh Khan would seem very inauthentic because he doesn't follow the NBA. He has more followers but doesn't follow the NBA that much, right? So what is
Salman Khan?
No, Shah Rukh Khan. Or Salman Khan also. Oh, Salman Khan also doesn't do that thing.
I mean,
right?
Salman Khan becomes the ambassador, then that would be something.
Yeah, but that's inauthentic, right? Like he doesn't follow the NBA. Like what is the point of that?
Also, like I don't think that both maybe Shah Rukh has it, but like I don't think Salman has that like go and like be this grand personality.
Correct. Yes.
Like maybe Shah Rukh has it. Like Shah Rukh will involve everybody. Like Shah Rukh and like I feel Shah Rukh and Ranveer are kind of very similar in their sort of energy to make everybody happy around them. They have this like, we just got to make everybody like happy and like
yeah.
So that's why I think it's a good fit.
Yeah, I think so. So like don't hate, like if you want you can ignore it, but like they were having fun also, right? It's not like Giannis was looked like he was having fun. Shaq was having a lot of fun. Trae Young was having fun. And I think this is learning, right? Like I'm like repeating myself again, but that point you made about how he went from doing something which didn't seem authentic, now dancing, which is authentic for him. Like he's an entertainer that way. He can make those people dance instead of being like, Giannis, you are a champion. You came from nothing. Now you are something, blah, blah, blah. Instead of that, just doing what he did felt like more the right thing to do. Exactly. Yeah. So, kudos to whoever is managing that learning curve because I think it's working well. I'm sure you're listening to the podcast, but whoever it is,
kudos to
you guys. Kudos to you. We had a little bit of, I want to talk about the Redeem Team documentary. Did you manage to catch it?
No, I'm not going to
watch it. You're not going to watch it? You're not going to watch it?
No. What is there to watch?
It was fun, man. Like as a Kobe fan, it was a lot of fun to watch that.
Oh, God. I don't, I'm sorry.
So anyway, then I'll talk about it in a reel separately. We'll do one review because you haven't seen it, so there's no point.
I haven't seen it. Yeah, I haven't.
But I had a lot of fun, like watching Kobe clips, and like Kobe almost came like a savior because they lost that 2004 thing. Then Coach K and that John Krasinski. What's the guy's name?
Yeah.
Krasinski.
That's Coach K.
Colangelo. Jerry Colangelo and Coach Mike Krzyzewski. Correct. So they came onto the program. They said that, we're going to have this thing where we're going to do this and we need a 3-year commitment from you guys. No, three Olympics, 3 summers commitment from you guys, blah, blah, blue, 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 blue. They started 2004, 2006 World Championships happened. They lost in the semifinals to Greece. And then this part I did not know. I thought that after 2004 only they went and recruited Kobe. So after 2006, they recruited, in 2007 or something, they recruited Kobe. Kobe said that, this is what we have to do. This is what that. It's not even like manufactured. I think Kobe came at the time when even with LeBron, Carmelo, D-Wade and all, they still went and lost to a Greece team. So then Kobe comes in. Kobe is like, okay, boys, listen, I'm tired of watching y'all lose. So I'm going to come here, make some changes. And then I'll go to practice at 4:30 and I'll call all of you so that you can see me. And then you can...
Not call. I'll wait for you in the lobby. Like, I'm not going to go and work out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have all my gym equipment, and I'm going to wait for you guys in the lobby. So when you come, you see me sitting in the lobby with my gym equipment.
Oh God. It's a tough workout. Hey man, stop dissing Kobe like this, okay?
Because there is no proof that he actually went and worked out.
They
just saw him sitting in the lobby. They just saw him sitting in the lobby, right?
That is not what happened. He was going to the gym. They saw him on the way to the gym. They were going back to the room.
Come
He
on,
was going to the
you
gym.
should know Kobe better than this. Come on.
I know Kobe better than this. He's not. He might have done that thing, but I'm sure he worked out before.
Yeah, I'm sure he worked out after it. But I'm just saying, like, he waited
yeah.
for them to come to see that he is
false
going to
alarm.
work
Okay,
out.
okay. Oh, LeBron's coming. Okay. LeBron. What's going on?
How's it going,
I'll
man?
just
Yeah,
go back
I'm
to
going.
the gym.
Yeah.
But isn't the gym in that direction? I came from this other private gym.
Private gym. They set up a private gym for me just for one day. It's over now. Now I'm just going to work out with you guys. Yeah.
Okay, enough Kobe dissing. But it was a lot of fun because also like the Spanish team at that point of time. Imagine how good they were that they just refused to. The final game, I've seen the entire final game.
Oh, okay.
Like on YouTube, it is there. The entire final game is there, so you can watch it. And like very clear, the first half and the second half. Like Spain is just trying, but having like 5-6 Hall of Famers is very difficult to get over that thing. Rudy Fernandez and your Pau Gasol, a young 16-17-year-old Ricky Rubio doing some crazy things with the ball, like putting the ball in the right place. John Carlos Navarro, all those players, highly respected, playing together. That, like, I don't know if you've seen this, but like when you go and play in the park, right? When you go and play in place, there will be one team who has always played together and they come and play together. Where I play in Koramangala, there's this group of Northeastern boys. And the way that they know exactly what to do, right? It is beautiful to watch. Like even if they're beating you, obviously they will beat you because not me. I mean, they beat me one time, but anyway, not me. But
do you still go and play regularly?
Saturday, Sunday. Captain, nice. I've encouraged captain also to take a break and come play.
Let's go. That's good. Guess who? Varun has moved to Barcelona, right?
No. You said his wife had got a job there.
Yeah, they finally moved to Barcelona, and yesterday he went and found a place to play basketball. So he was telling me.
He can hang with those tall boys.
Yeah, that's what I told him. You're a tall guy. You'll be fine.
Plus, he does all those weird things with the ball.
The thing about Varun is that he doesn't want to take a shot. So like he's always passing the ball. So everybody loves to have Varun on the team. He's always getting the rebounds and passing. And like I was like, yes, I want him. Yeah, so he tells that's my strategy. It's like, listen, man, like I don't really care about scoring. I just want to play. Like I just want to run, and so I just take the rebound and pass. And people like me for that. That's cool.
I used to always want to take the rebound away from him because I always like doing that to tall guys. And he didn't jump much. No, like he didn't really care about getting the rebound. So I was like, if I get the rebound over him, in my head, I was like, okay, Ashwin, what a great rebounder you are. You got it over the taller guy. But then he would do that too short.
That 3-pointer.
Three-pointer,
so frustrating.
So you do all that work and then he's like, okay.
You do all that work, they just It's like, come on.
Speaking of long boys, what a great segue. Speaking of long boys, man, Victor Wembanyama unleashed himself to an audience of US non-YouTube watchers. He looked so comfortable, right? More than anything else. He did not get, like usually with these long boys, a little bit of push. This is, I think they get a little bit of rattle, nothing. He was very comfortable bringing the ball up, very comfortable with the rebounding, very comfortable with
the defense,
shooting,
like
with the shooting, exactly.
Everything.
He just he just took what the defense gave him, right? Like he didn't try to force himself too much, which is a sign of a very smart person and a very good basketball player. Like he's like way willing for the game to come to him instead of trying to do some crazy thing. I need to do this, playing within the game. Tanking season will officially begin.
Already begun.
October 19th. October 19th is going to begin. It is going to begin.
When Popovich went online, I said, listen, just don't bet on us to win the championship. Like, it's not happening.
Probably speaking the truth, I didn't think that I would ever hear him say that. Also, I never expected. No, actually, forget that. I'll keep for the read. Victor Wembanyama, Scoot Henderson, prospects for the draft. Victor Wembanyama already showing himself to be like a very smooth talker, very comfortable with.
That was a good reel you made with that. Like, I don't know how you like found that clip of him just giving like that smile.
That was the tough part. That was the tough part. Yeah.
Oh, you already had the idea and then you went searching for that link. Okay. I thought you saw that.
No.
Okay.
And like, the way if you
Perfect.
if you search, God will be like, okay, here is the answer. So that's I
It was
searched and
perfect.
God was like,
Total perfect. Like that whole like turn and wink and like go like it's perfect.
classic
great reel.
Victor. So I mean, man, like your first thoughts about, we'll not talk about the negatives in like some imaginary world, but just what basketball has
What a
come to become.
prospect. Amazing player. Yeah, man. I mean, it's like there's nothing I can say that I haven't said before in the live or people have not said before. Is that like he's like video game material?
Yeah.
You know, it's like if you had to create a player, you would make him 7'5" with great shooting, great handles, great blocking, great rebounding. You know, and that's exactly who Victor Wembanyama is. He's just a video game character.
Yeah. And he moves us so easily.
I mean,
Not
the
like
only
it's
thing
a
that
struggle.
you would add maybe to your video game character is like the bulk of Shaq, you know, the power of Shaq. Like imagine if that was also a part of it, it would be like, oh God, this guy.
Yeah,
So
I
the
mean,
only thing
like he had those moves also at the post, right? Because usually these people rely a lot more on,
smooth, yeah,
rely a little bit
fadeaways
more on
and
the
everything.
3-point shot. Fade away, over the
my
left
God.
shoulder, right shoulder, mid
everything.
range.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
I mean, it's not going to be like an easy transition. Like he's going to have some amount of learning to do because obviously the defenses are a little bit different in NBA.
No,
Not
if
anymore,
everybody
but
says
still.
that you're special, then all eyes will be on him. Then,
On him.
show us, baby, show us.
Yeah. So like, but he's got like for a prospect, wow,
Absolutely
amazing.
I read somewhere that somebody said if Lebron James himself was in this draft class, Victor would still go number 1.
Yeah, I think Richard Jefferson said that.
Okay. And Sutherland says a lot of things, so very little difficult
I
to figure out
wouldn't
what he
disagree
said.
with him. I wouldn't disagree with him. It's
Right,
tough
because
to
the
disagree.
potential, like the upside, probably a little more higher.
Yeah.
Of course.
Because like I think with LeBron the problem was like he was not a shooter, he couldn't shoot. Like and his playmaking ability was not that like that much a part of who he was as a prospect. Well, who he was as a prospect, a guy that was just super athletic, 6'7", big, strong, dunking like you know, and that was his prospect. Like his playmaking ability was there, but it wasn't like as elite as it is now that we know who
Correct.
LeBron is. But with Victor, like everything is there, you know, offensively and even defensively for a big man.
I mean, defensively, he just has to put his hands up. After that, if somebody wants to dunk on that, go for it.
I saw this video of him taking a layup, and it was just like, I mean, when he went through for the layup, his hand was like next to the rim, and it's just like, I was like,
Can't I dunk it? No, you got to lay it up. But I can't lay it up.
I was like, what? This is not fair.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Like he's bigger than Boban.
Taller than Boban?
Yeah, he's almost as tall. I think Boban is 7'6". This guy's 7'5".
7'5", yeah, I think 7'5".
Yeah. Think about it. We think Boban is like this. Oh, Boban,
Giant.
giant. You know, and this guy is as big as this guy with everything else.
Yeah, he better make sure he doesn't take any charges from Zion and all. That'll probably be the last thing that he sees. He wakes up and like, where am I? You're back in France, son. That was a dream. You have been reborn.
Zion has sent you back. He's done the, what's that?
Infinity snap.
Infinity thing. I forgot what is it. But Zion is also amazing, man. I'm so excited.
Zion also came back lighter. Like, I remember you talking about that if he really wants that $1 billion, all he has to do is just take care of his body and the money is right there for him.
Yeah, easy. Easy for him.
So that'll be interesting because he has to learn how to play with his weight also. I think that's probably what's going to be a little more interesting to see.
Yeah. I feel
Because he
bad
can
for like the other guy though, like the second guy, what's his name?
Jamorant.
No, man. After Wembanyama.
Scoot Henderson.
Scoot Henderson. I feel
He
bad
also
for him
play-
because he's a good player, but he's like too small.
Compared
Like
to
he's-
Victor.
No, but he is small. He's like 6'3".
Correct. But 6'3" is like average point guard, right? No,
Yeah, but he's the shooting guard, right?
no, it's point guard.
He's point guard, but he's more of a scorer, is my point.
Who's this point guard who's passing
And now
balls? Nobody's passing.
point guard is over. That role is
That
like Chris Paul is the
era
last
is over.
living relic of that.
Absolutely. Like I was thinking like top point guards, like all the point guards are like 25 plus point scorers.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the way it's gone now. You can't, if you pass the ball too much, then people will be like, you can't shoot. Then you have to show them that you can shoot. And like, he's not a point guard anymore. What? Victor, I think it'll be fun. But the other sad point is I just realized that there'll be 1 year before we see Victor in the NBA. Wembanyama, which is a problem. Anyway, I think we'll have one more episode before the season
You'll be 1 year
comes
older.
up.
Will you be 35 by then?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you feel it when you play basketball?
No. Yes, after the game is done. But
do you warm down and stuff?
Yeah, obviously. After that ACL injury, warm up, play, warm down. That's my go-to. And rehydration.
Rehydration.
I recently had copper poisoning. I'll tell you after the podcast is recorded and all that. It was very funny.
Oh.
It was funny because like of the stupidity of me, of the absolute ridiculously stupid things that I've done. That's why it's funny. Tragedy plus time. Anyway.
That's true.
All right, Vineet, and that's it. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast, everyone. We will be back again next week for the last episode before the season begins. So catch us then. Until then, like, share, subscribe, do all the jazz. And Vineet, say bye-bye.
Bye.